what a way to start a wet Wednesday here in Florida. We have rain outside my window. All right, so today the theme is, are you dragging ass? Because I know how I felt when I woke up this morning. I thought it was like 6 in the morning and it was closer to like 8:40, almost 9 o'clock, and I went to bed early. How many of you out there are really like exhausted? You're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling more tired. Hey, we just had 2 eclipses in the past couple weeks. We had a full moon lunar eclipse, we had a new moon solar eclipse. Take into consideration, we are affected by heavenly bodies in the physical body. Our soul is deeply connected to all of the universe. Even though we're here in this physical body, this soul goes out and it does other things when we are in our sleep, in our zone. This isn't just a, hey, this is our only reality. I don't care what you believe. You can believe in higher power or not. But you have probably noticed at some point in your life, ooh, look at you. At some point in your life, you've woken up and asked yourself, oh my gosh, where did I just go? I don't know where I was, but I was in some other world, and that dream felt so real, like you were really, really there. I'm an astral projector ever since I was a little girl. There were times I used to wake up and I would feel my body physically falling, and I knew I was falling in a dream, and I'd wake up, you know? Don't discount whatever you're going through, because you don't always know everything that's happening under the surface. If you're someone who's just coming into the spiritual awakening, spiritual awareness, like seriously, this whole spirituality movement, it's been hijacked in various different directions. We're all spirits. I wish we could stop using the whole spirituality topic altogether, because it places, when we place a label on something, we put it in a box and we get lazy about it, because our box has all these conditions around what that looks like, what that feels like, what we think that is, and we get lazy, so therefore we hear something and we dismiss it. We don't actually get to know it. We don't allow ourselves permission to step outside of our beliefs and ideals around that label, because it's the cop-out. Oh, I've got this disordered or this disease, so stick it over there and it just explains everything, so I'll just use that as my cover. It's a mask, it's an identity. Think about that. The more we label something, the more we cover it up, the more we don't see the truth of it. We don't actually recognize it for itself, for its original purpose. Let me see something here. My lighting is horrible in the kitchen. I'm just telling you now. So I was dragging ass this morning, and I felt the energy wasn't super charged. I wasn't sure how the day would go. I had to teach a yoga class earlier, and I realized in the moment I was teaching, because I was really like in a space of, I don't understand. I'm not grasping it. And I'm usually pretty quick to pick up on it, but as soon as I started teaching, it dropped in. It's okay if you're dragging ass. It's okay if you don't have the energy to propel you forward, to do the things you think you need to be doing, you want to be doing, because there are times you need to take downtime. You need to rest, relax, recover, recuperate, recharge. There's nothing wrong with taking care of you. You don't have to keep doing and going. If this time has taught any of us, it's that now is the best time for downtime. To take a deep breath, come on, you know where I'm going with this. With me, 3 times. 3 deep inhalations, 3 exhalations in a sigh. Like, come on, inhale together. Exhale it out and feel your entire body as you exhale. Feel the release from your cells, the tension that you've got built up. Inhale together. Feel it wash over. Release, relax, let go. Inhale together. Let go of that tension. Inhale again. Shake it out. Let it all out of your body, your system. The breath is your life force. The breath is what maintains you, sustains you. It takes care of you. You wouldn't exist without the breath. And before the breath was the word. Before the word, there was the breath. Let's keep that in check. You can't speak without breath, right? So let's look at this. On the seventh day, God spoke and the world, that was the theory, that God spoke and everything came into existence. But there had to be the prana, the breath, which meant, in essence, the breath is God. Think about that. Why aren't we worshiping the breath? The one thing that makes you alive, that keeps you alive. Maintainer, sustainer, invigorator. It is what fuels you. It is what keeps you going. Without it, and you don't even have to think about it, don't you think that's really the biggest form of God that you could ever look at? See, God, dog backwards, but generator, organizer, destroyer. Think about that. Breath, respiration, spirito, spirit, inspiration. It is what keeps life alive. Breath is life. Breath is God. You are God. You are living, breathing. Every breath you take is God's love because it keeps you alive. Every time you inhale, every time you exhale, is something very special in all that. And I encourage, implore, I hope that you'd be willing to lean into that more, to be more present with your breath, to really harness the power of your prana, your life force energy. I don't care what's going on around you in the world. The breath is the one thing you will always have that nobody can take away from you unless they take your life. You have everything you need in this physical form, in this body, in this spirit, this mind, body, soul connection. If you are willing to dive deep into yourself and stop looking outside of you for the answers, for the solutions, for the whatever. You got it all right here. Stop guessing. Stop looking for it. Stop second guessing yourself. It is you. It was you all along. And there are no mistakes. You incarnated into this physical body. You came into this existence and you have a purpose. Each and every one of you is here for a reason. Don't discount yourself, don't second guess, and don't play small. Stand in your glory, stand tall. Know that the more you're willing to dive deep into me, I see, the intimacy of you and you, that the most important relationship you will ever have is with you. And that we came into this physical form because life is about relationships. How I relate to you and you relate to me, that I cannot experience myself without experiencing me through you. That is relationship. That is relating. Relaying information, relaying messages. Without you, and I'm grateful for you, I wouldn't exist. Without me, many others wouldn't exist. So we are a collective collaboration, that we came here for a reason. And we need to stop with the fighting and the picking and the bantering and the poking and the provoking and the pointing fingers and the I'm right, you're wrong, black and white, true or false. Come on, people. If there's one thing that we all have in common, it's love. We want to love, we want to be loved, and we want to feel love. If you're not one of those people, let me know in the comments. I want to know the truth. What do you really think your purpose here on this earth is? Why do you feel you're here to serve, and how? I've always felt like my purpose was to speak, was to listen, was to offer consoling advice, but also I'm always open to listening and learning, because we're all teachers and students of the same walk of life. I may not have all the answers, but I'm willing to research. I'm willing to look and not take for granted or take at face value what someone tells me. I was raised in a generation of, if you don't know the answer, go look it up. Go look it up in the dictionary. Go look it up in the encyclopedia. Now it's go look it up online. But even then, we're limited now. Has anybody noticed that our information is disappearing? That information you would normally be able to find in a history book, encyclopedia, a dictionary, is being changed. History is being rewritten as we speak. And we can be a part of it, or we can just allow it to be told to us how we're supposed to participate. There are many narratives going on right now, and I implore each and every one of you to look inside for your answers. Don't put it out there. Don't believe everything you're told. Don't go looking for arguments to be right about either, because even then, you could be just as easily found out to be wrong. Because power versus force. If you're trying to force your will upon someone, if you're trying to tell them what's right and that you're not wrong, self-righteous attitude, it's the three fingers coming back at you, baby, that always end up being more powerful than the one you got pointing out. We all have something to learn. We all have something to glean from these times right now. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. The question is, are we going to band together and unite? Are we going to continue to let them divide us to fight amongst ourselves? This is my mission. I spent over 10 years in the Air Force and an additional almost 10 years government contracting. I have a pretty good range of life experiences, broad knowledge, and witnessing it firsthand. And having been in the military environment, having been exposed to the things that I was exposed to, I've seen what they call real life. And I've also moved over and tried years of healing and research and my own trauma confrontation to work through my stuff. Because I knew there were points in my life I saw patterns. And I believe in finding solutions to overcome challenges. I don't just let myself be the victim of something. I want to find my way through it. I'm not here to wallow in my misery. I'm here to rise from the flames, as my mother would say. Her trucking handle was Phoenix, because the Phoenix rises from the flames, from the ashes, reborn. And I understand more than I ever could have understood when I was a child, but I always knew as a child. I knew there was something bigger. I knew that I was here for something great, and I never discounted that. I never understood what exactly it was going to be. I still don't see the full picture, but we're not always meant to, because then where would the surprise be in knowing it all? Where would the surprise be in knowing it all? It's a good thing to not have all the answers, because there's the element of surprise and delight, and how will you receive it? With ease and grace, or resistance and fight and fury and, this life is so horrible. Well, woe is me. My life, it sucks. Victim or victor, you get to choose at all times. And whether you are struggling from day to day or just from moment to moment, be willing to also recognize that there's pleasure in downtime. There's a need to relax. That the fight or flight that you are so accustomed to, this idea that I need to be going because that was my pattern, that in itself was an addiction. I am an old subscriber recovering from the workaholic, let's call it the workaholism, right? How many of you are workaholics or were up until recently? Working to make money for others. Blood, sweat, and tears for pennies. We're all worthy. You don't have to prove yourself. And the theme this year reminded me was that our culture has always been about proving yourself worthy, proving yourself innocent, proving yourself. Why is that? Disprove me. I'd rather someone come up and give me the disproof than to constantly be pointing fingers about how I need to prove myself. Excuse me, but fuck that. I ain't got time for that. You're either with me, against me, or wherever the hell you want to be. But honestly, I'd rather people in my circle that are with me. And if you disagree, I can be polite, I can be kind. I don't need you to agree with me, but respect, honor, integrity. Show up as you are inside so that you don't have to fight. Don't be putting on masks, covering up your true identity, because your truth is what will set you free. Freedom is in being you as you are meant to be, not creating this false sense of who you think you need to be based on who you got to prove to be. Think about this. You see how we've all had the wool pulled over our eyes? How it's actually been perpetuated through our lineages. The legacy is that we've been carrying all this trauma from a culture that's all about control. Because if I can keep you under control, and in line as they say, stay in your lane, then I can get you to do whatever I want. And the best way to do that is to keep you in fear, to keep you in fight or flight, to keep you constantly worried, stressed out, because you will give up your freedom for a false sense of security and safety. And that's a proven fact in psychology. That's the research people need to be doing. Do your healing work. Don't let that stuff take you out of your peace. Don't let it take you out and put you in pain. That's a choice. We all have that choice. You can stand in your peace, or you can wallow in your pain. And you know what? This is what I was sharing in my yoga class today. And this is what dropped in, because there is purpose in your pain. And in your pain, just like the diamond is inside the coal, it has to go through the pressure to deliver the brilliance of that beautiful, spectacular diamond. Pressure creates. And we all feel we're in the pressure cooker, don't we? In some way, shape, or form. So we get exhausted, stretched thin, and stressed out. And just like our pain, the more we resist it, the more it persists. We can try to suppress it or push it away. But unless we're willing to lean into it, to sit with it, to question and confront it, how could we ever create the space for it to unfurl and deliver the gift, the blessing, and the lesson that it has for us? Because pain is your guidance system just as much as your emotions, because there is within it the glimmer, because the pressure had built up. It's there to serve you. It is a sign. Your body is always speaking to you, but not everybody listens. I speak about the wisdom of your body, tapping into it. You got to feel it to heal it. If you're unwilling to feel it, it is going to be continuous pain. And at every point, you get to choose. Am I going to continue to suppress and avoid it? The pain hurts. The pain hurts because we keep on feeling it. but not feeling it in the sense of trying to understand it. There's a psychology in that. It can be like a good, glorious, wonderful friend that shows up every day. So there's the addiction and the pain and the suffering. And then when you talk to people, oh, my pain, it's so bad. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. But how many people are willing to confront the individual? And I'm one of those friends. Tough love, baby. What is that pain trying to teach you? Where do you feel it in your body? And what exactly are you avoiding in your life? You'd be surprised how we can heal our traumas through the body and the pains that have manifested as a result of suppressing and avoiding those healings. All right, so there is purpose in your pain, people. Your body is always talking to you. Signs are there. Truth. Today's shirt says truth. Are you willing to step into your truth? That's going to be the question. Always going to be the question. I'm going to make coffee. I figured I was dragging butt, and I thought, you know what? Should I do a video? I haven't done a video. I've been in my own cocoon. This is me. This is real me. And I haven't really want to be around a lot of people. I didn't really want to go out. So I'm like, I bet it's needed more now than ever. That even though I'm struggling and I didn't really feel like doing a video, doing the dance actually helps me. It boosted my dopamine. I feel, I got some inspiration from my own dancing, because sometimes that's all it takes, is to move your body. I was dragging butt getting to my yoga class online that I was doing and doing my own practice. Actually, that was the easy part. And then teaching, I was like, whoa, what am I teaching? And then it dropped in, and I'm like, oh, this makes sense. Tap into your body's wisdom. Tap into your intuition. Because here's the thing, is you yourself have all the answers you need in you. We weren't born without something. We came with an abundance of everything. We are microcosms, okay? So we talk about the universe being vast, this macro, humongous universe. It's infinite. It just keeps going out. Did you ever consider we have the universe and then some inside of us, that it's so infinitesimally small, tiny, we could never fathom, that as science evolves, medicine evolves, we are able to see smaller and smaller into the body. It makes sense, doesn't it? Just because we have been limited in our mentality and history has taught us one thing, it's always being disproven too, if you're willing to look through the research. But a lot of stuff gets suppressed. A lot of information gets suppressed because people aren't always willing to do the deep, dark, inner work on themselves. They're not always willing to do the deep work of research. There were some good things about going to school, I will say, as I was taught how to research. My mother taught me, because she was a full-on, she was brilliant. My mother was always in books, libraries. I was blessed with exposure to the wealth of knowledge available to us. And a lot of books are out of print, or you can't find them. I mean, come on. They used to burn books to keep information from us. Think about this. Think about the way history is changing and evolving now. Now we have, and I'm an IT engineer by trade, that's my old specialty, so just remember that. I know how information is stored on backups and servers. A lot of information is being taken out of the mainstream and hidden, okay? Why is that? I don't care what you believe and who you side with and what narrative you're following. No matter what, I question it all. And you should too. And here's why. Because every time you think you know, you need to be questioning that too. We don't have all the answers, and there's a bigger, higher purpose here, and if my intuition is telling me right, I can't wait till it finally just drops in, because it's going to be like a bomb of information. But the truth is, we rely so much on the externals, we forget about the internals. We can be told all sorts of information all day long, but that doesn't make it true. And the majority of what I've heard is mostly opinion. Most of it's opinion. Tell me your firsthand experience. Tell me what you saw, not what you wanted to see. Don't tell me what you want to believe, because this is the problem. People have lost sight from truth with facts and truth based on opinions and what people want to believe. Two completely different avenues, people. And as far as I'm concerned, the media has suppressed the real facts so badly that most of it's based on opinions and parroting information. All that said, I want you to just really remember that you yourself have an inner guidance system. Truth is in you, not outside of you. And if something doesn't settle and you start to feel it physiologically in your body, your stomach seizes up, or you feel butterflies, or you feel the heat in the back of your neck, whatever you're sensing, write it down. Ask yourself, what is this trying to tell me? Ooh, I felt this. And write down what it was that triggered it. The trigger, the response, where you felt it in your body, the thoughts and the memories that arise. All of that's important to your healing process and should not be discounted or suppressed and ignored. Pay attention. That's your inner guidance system. So this is an Italian mocha. It's traditional, where you basically, I didn't show you the whole deal. I might have shown you in other videos. But the reason I made this is because I was just in the mood for a coffee. And not that I need it, because I'm still dealing with some, from doing all that yard work. I was really, really tight and tense up in my neck. And I've been really working through that. But essentially going back to all of this, I want you to know that you're not the only one out there that is struggling, and that from day to day, sometimes we wake up and we don't have the motivation or the drive or the desire to even get out of bed, let alone anything else. And I know it's the holidays, so it's even more depressing. Deep rest. It's more depressing for many because the holidays are what bring them together with family and friends. And if you can still do it, I would do it. Why? Because the heart resonance. You know what the 6 feet is about? The 6 feet is about breaking that heart connection. See, we are energetic, right? And this heart spans 6 feet, sometimes less, depends on how strong you are in your 10 bodies, let's say. You know, do you have a strong magnetic field? Are you building up your prana? Are you working on your breath work? All of the things that you do contribute to elevating your spirit, to expanding your aura, your magnetic field, your intuitive ability. And it's really important to tap into knowing where you're at. When 6 feet distance from another person suppresses that connection with them. If, you know, it's just the whole talk of hugging for 30 seconds increases your dopamine, your your oxytocin levels. Hugging boosts your immune system. For those of you who already knew this, can you see the disconnect in this? And that the more that you are kept away from other people, you also feel a disconnect. That disconnect is the human connection. The element of human connection. When we are apart from one another, we're weaker. When we're together, we're stronger. This is why we say, put the unity back in community. Because the more we come together and we gather, we elevate, we increase our immune systems, we boost our energy levels, we also heal the earth and everyone around us. The stronger you are in numbers, the less they can take you out. It's easier to program and manipulate you and television, channel programming to you when you are away from those you love and those that uplift and support you. So for me today, my gift to you is I am sending you serious heart pulses. I want you to feel me. I really do. I want you to know that I love you, and that what I do for me, I know is for every single one of you. The healing work I do, I might be dragging ass one day, but I will get my butt in gear. And every time I do, and I want you to test this for you, that when you push yourself that extra bit to do the exercise, to take the walk, to do a little yoga movement, to dance, whatever it is. Maybe you don't feel like doing it in the moment, but I trust me. As soon as you've done it, you put yourself there, okay, man, well, how much longer do I have to do this? Well, just get into it. See what happens after a few minutes, 5 minutes. Put on your favorite music. Come on, people. When you move your body, this is the most natural, fluid thing you can do. Move your body, however you do it. That in itself can shift your mood if you're willing to step out of it. Unless you want to. You're more than welcome, and it is truly up to you. It is okay if you want to wallow in misery, but don't remain there for the rest of your life. Just be willing to recognize when you're choosing it and when you're just in that space of like denial. Oh, well, I don't like this, and denying the fact that you can choose. That's the denial. You can always choose. You always have the opportunity. You have the power within you. Choice is your superpower, and it leads you to your freedom. All right, a little bit. I'm going to show you what I've been drinking lately. I mixed this up. And then if you have any questions in the bottom, and tell me where you're tuning in from. This was a total random. All right, here's what we got. This is a creamer by 𝑒𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐲, and it's chocolate. It's on sale at Whole Foods right now. So dark chocolate truffle. See the labels. 𝑒𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐲 almond milk creamer, and it has coconut cream in it too. That's the other thing I like about it. So I'm going to use what's left of this. I'll use a little water to rinse out the bottle. I have been eating less food, not being as hungry. Yes, my refrigerator door is open behind me. I have a pizza that I might eat tonight. Oh, I know what I'm going to eat. I am going to make myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because I'm feeling a little comfort food coming on. I might actually change my mind in the moment. But notice when you start to reach for comfort foods, because you know we only do it because of the mood. So our mood influences the food, and the food reinforces the mood. Can you see how the crazy cycle goes? But if you're willing to write it down and say, you know, I was feeling this way, and I recognize this is the type of food I grab for. Like, for me, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches bring me back to my childhood. And my dad will tell you that when I was a little girl, I used to get upset. I'm like, Dad, you have to put the peanut butter on one slice and the jelly on the other, and then put them together. Not the peanut butter with the jelly on top of the peanut butter, which is what he would do sometimes. And yes, that's kind of silly, but it was true. Yes, I am the princess and the pea, and my mom used to joke about that. That I have very specific likes and dislikes, but I'm also a recovering perfectionist, and I have learned so much about myself over the years. And I honor everything that I've ever been stuck on. But my dogma, actually, my cat ate my dogma, but my dogma is much less than it used to be. I have been much more humble, which is why I'm starting the special membership to tell my story, because it's not to slam anybody, it's to share my personal truth, my personal story, and how I went into a relationship thinking, essentially, I thought I was helping someone else. I thought, universe, you're putting this person in my life, I'm here to help them and them heal. And there was a point where I realized, wow, okay, maybe this isn't what it was meant to be. And there was a hard decision as to how I was going to get out of it. But yeah, I know a lot of people are curious, and I just figured, you know what? I kind of lost my ass on that relationship. So anyone who's willing to support me that way is greatly appreciated, because essentially I need to also still do a lot of things around my home to make up for things that I lost in the process. So we're just going to finish up the coffee, and then I'm off for the day, and then you can just run and play, whatever you do. All right, we did the chocolate. What else am I putting in here? Oh, I want to show you this particular coffee. So I'm into all these medicinal mushrooms. So we have this 𝑳𝒐𝒗𝒆. I don't know if any of you have heard of 𝑳𝒐𝒗𝒆. It's a mushroom ground coffee and it has lion's mane in it. You see? This is for thinking. It's for clarity of the mind. I absolutely love chaga, cordyceps, reishi, lion's mane. You name it, I love it. I've always loved mushrooms. So I use my little mocha, which is so cute. I got this in Naples, Italy, many, many moons ago. Yay! Look at that. Now we're going to pour this into the mug. Oh, I love the smell of coffee, really do. Who out there, who are my coffee lovers in the chat? Let me know. What is your favorite way to have coffee? Hot, cold, chocolate, no chocolate, sweet, unsweet, creamer, no creamer, short, tall, long, latte, macchiato. Sfumato was my favorite, which was in between a cappuccino. I love cappuccinos. But when I do it, I like my coffee with coconut milk. So for all of you all out there, I hope you're being well. Just be. Understand, if there's one thing we all have in common, remember we all want to be loved. We want to love and feel love. I love you very, very much. Have an amazing day. Be blessed. And I'll catch up with you later.